It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And on center stage is the Lumberjacks, speedy running back. He should be a busy man out of the backfield. It's the Lumberjacks and the Snowhawks, just ahead on EA Sports.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out is their fifth-year quarterback.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
Second and 10 at the 24-yard line.
From the gun, here's Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. In motion goes the tight end. Just beating the play clock, Smith. And that one too wide and incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
A quick throw, but incomplete. When you look at this defense, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. 3rd down and 10. Back to throw. Stevenson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field. Pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Cooper. He'll take this to the 46. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Up the middle they go. It's Cooper. He's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. Second down now. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Stevenson. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
The Snowhawks offense, led by their running back, headed out for the second possession. He is the NFL's leader in rushing yards to this point in the season. And if he can replicate or even surpass the production that he had over the first half of the year, he's going to have a good chance to take home the title. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Now, these two teams, you might recall, met back in mid-season, Week 8 to be exact. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Smith. That is incomplete. When you look at this defense, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple of touchdowns. We've got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Slot man moves right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4. Second down and 6 now. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. Now a handoff up the middle. Cooper. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So they bring out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Now Smith. He'll get this out to Lynch, complete. The numbers for him from a week ago. 10 catches, 116 yards.
And in doing preparation for the game, you notice where guys rank in the league in terms of statistical categories. He's 4th in the league in receiving yards. That caught my attention in a positive way.
Up the middle they go. Holiday. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Now a handoff up the middle. Holiday.
And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. It's going the other way. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Following the fumble recovery, Stevenson looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
$3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Portland football here, ready to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with 4th down and 1. They'll try and run for it. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Lumberjacks are able to widen their advantage. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Holiday. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Portland's offense now about set to take over. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. They're back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole that leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1.
Looking to throw. Stevenson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
On first down, it's Cooper. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Stevenson firing quickly here, and that's complete.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. They'll keep it on the ground. Cooper. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. In motion, the tight end. Operating from the gun. Stevenson throwing middle, and it's complete. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. Up the middle they go. It's Cooper. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Looking to throw. Stevenson.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
You put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
And for the second time this half, on comes the field goal unit here. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead even further. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them. Yeah,
that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively.
They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. And this will be incomplete. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. He finds Lynch. It's complete. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. Out of the gun, Smith.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Throwing to start the drive. Stevenson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Cooper, and he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. And on now is the punter, standing just outside his own goal line. Taken from just outside the 30. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time.
Here's the Anchorage offense back out now. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Throwing is Smith. He finds his man, complete. That's Becker. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Smith. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment defense.
A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Still 1st down.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Smith now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Lynch. And we're going to get a timeout. with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And his kick here is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll begin our tour of the trip up to Toronto, Canada, where you see the final score there. 17-12 was the final. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought the first half, it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big one there on third down. They hit for 30 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Off play action. Stevenson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
Now they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
From the 35, here's 2nd down and 1.
They'll keep it on the ground. Holiday. And at the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. To throw is Smith.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw, Smith. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
And they'll send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Portland's offense now about set to take over.
We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
2nd and 9 now.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 2 yards to go on third down. Off the play fake. Stevenson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. They bring their punter out there now as he's on to kick it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line.
Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He finds his man, complete. It's Becker. So no gain on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. A shotgun snap for Smith.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A good gain of 12 yards that time.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Here's Smith. Pressure comes and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Smith. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
He finds his man, complete. That's Becker. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. In motion, the tight end. Now Smith. That is caught. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They pick up the first down there with a gain of 11.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They'll run on first down. Holiday. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Now it's Smith. And that's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
Back to throw. Smith. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
Again, Smith. Throw left side complete. That's Potter. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. This will wind up a loss on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Snowhawks have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's second down. Looking to throw. Stevenson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8.
Operating from the gun, Stevenson. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first after the D blanket his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finish this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Back to throw. Stevenson. Looking left sideline. It's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
On first down, Cooper. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Looking to throw. Stevenson. He finds his man. Complete. That's Saunders. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Operating from the gun. Stevenson over the middle. Cooper with it. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. Up the middle they go. It's Cooper. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Back to throw. Stevenson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively.
And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
From the gun, here's Smith.
Oh, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted.
And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for them. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Portland's offense now about set to take over. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Throwing to start the drive. Stevenson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun. Stevenson. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Smith's going to throw it.
Over the middle, complete. That's Lynch. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Smith to throw.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Here's Smith. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Smith. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Now it's Smith. They'll get this out to Lynch, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Smith now to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
They snap it to Smith, and it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Well, this ball game was close throughout. Remember, it was neck and neck at intermission, neck and neck at the end, but a great job to come in here in a tough environment, Charles, and get the victory.
Yeah, tough environment indeed. How about all the people we can hear shouting from their seats right below us, partner? They weren't real happy that their team didn't keep the home field. How about how these visitors came in, calm every step of the way, even with all the pressure, and found a way to get out of here with a win.
So for Portland, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll get another road date next week.
Meanwhile, for Anchorage,
it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.